Hi, it's Doug Coy for SoWhatDoYouThink.com. Well, I've been doing this series on people that have really impressed me with their lives, people that have something to say or have done something extremely special with their life. The gentleman that you're going to meet today, he's beyond amazing. I have had many times where I've shed a number of tears listening to this man speak. He does what I used to do. I used to go in to do high school assembly programs, and he's very effective at it. His name is Nick Vujicic, and, well, it's quite a story. He tells about being born. Listen to this.
My dad was saying that he was, his head was next to my mum's head as I was being born, and he saw my shoulder, and he just went pale, and was hoping my mum didn't see me because he saw that I had no right arm. And my dad had to leave the room, and he couldn't believe what he saw. And the doctor came in, and my dad said, "My son, he has no right arm." And he says, "No, your son has no arms or legs." And he said he nearly fell on the floor. He couldn't believe it. And the whole church was mourning, like, why would God let the pastor's son be born that way? And my mum, at first, she didn't want to hold me. She didn't want to, breastfeed me and all that. She just felt very uncomfortable for the first 4 months. And it took them quite a while before they could trust in God that he didn't make a mistake, that he didn't forget them.
You can imagine being born with no arms, no legs. You'd be called a freak, all these different names that would come at you. And you know how children can make fun of people that maybe aren't what we call normal. And so there was a time in his life where he actually considered taking his own life. Listen to this.
Why did you take my arms and legs? Why didn't you give me what everybody else has? And I said, God, until you answer me that question, I will not serve you. And so I wanted to end it. If God wasn't going to end my pain, I was going to end it myself. So at age 8, I tried to drown myself in a bathtub of 4 inches of water. I told my mum and dad, I'm just going to relax in the bathtub. Can you put me in the bathtub? And yeah, I turned over a couple times to see if I could do it. I couldn't do it. The thought that stopped me from going through with it was the love for my parents. Because I love them so much, and all they did was love me. And I thought to myself, if I actually went through with this, I pictured my funeral, I pictured my parents, and also was guilt on their shoulders that they couldn't have done more.
It's funny how a moment in time can change our life. We can read a story, we can meet someone that totally changes the direction of our life. And that's what happened to Nick. And a very powerful story about how he changed and how he suddenly realized that he was valuable and that he could do something really amazing with his life. Listen to this.
I have a choice to either be angry at God for what I don't have or be thankful for what I do have. And my mum, she said, Nick, God's going to use you. I don't know how, I don't know when, but God's going to use you. And those seeds started penetrating in my heart. And that's when I started seeing that there is no point in being complete on the outside when you're broken on the inside. And I found out that God can heal you without changing a circumstance.
The question that has bothered Nick most of his life has been, God, why did you create me this way? And this is the answer he got.
Do you trust me? That's the question. And when you say yes to that question, nothing else matters.
So what is Nick doing? Well, he's talking to literally hundreds of thousands of school children. The impact is amazing. It's wild to see him come up on stage and the reaction of the young people. And then afterwards, they all want to come up and give Nick a hug. He speaks into their lives, and he changes lives by what he has to say. He's an amazing man. Now, I'm going to do part 2, and we'll put that up here soon also. But you'll want to see part 2 because we're going to give you what he actually does, or at least snippets of what he does in his high school assembly programs. You're going to love this. This is Doug Coy. So what do you think?